So, how can we use Boolean expressions in something useful, right? So let's say we have a score, right? And let's say that this can be any value, and we're going to see how we can input values dynamically later. But for now, I'm just going to say that this student in a school or in a university got 40, right? And we're making a program that is telling the student, did you fail or did you pass, right? If you got over 50, then you passed. If you got less than 50, then you failed. Right? So first of all, let's write out an if condition. Okay, so if you write an if condition, you just write if. Simple as that. And then you put the expression that you want to compare or the expression that you want to evaluate. All right, so we have the score. We want to check if this score is bigger than 50, bigger than or equal 50, because if someone gets exactly 50, they're going to pass. So if the score is bigger than or equal 50, and then 2 points, and then you're going to click enter or press enter, and then you have to really notice that there is an indentation here, some spaces here, and this is really important so that Python knows that whatever comes next, right, belongs to this if condition. Okay, so this line, this part here that we're going to write right now, is only going to happen if the score is bigger than 50. If the score is not bigger than 50, then the Python is not going to read whatever comes here, right? So if the student got bigger than 50, more than 50, we're going to print you passed, all right? What if the student didn't get less than 50, bigger than more than 50, so we're going to make an else. So else, if you got less than 50, then print you failed, all right? So what happens here is that if the score is 40, right? So it's never going to get here. So this is going to evaluate to false, and that's why whatever comes in this part is going to not be considered by Python. However, we have an else condition, which means if this fails, go check this one. All right, so else says print you failed. All right, so let's print that. So you failed because 40 is not bigger than 50. All right, let's make this a little bit more complicated. So if someone gets more than 50, they pass, but we want to check how much did they get over 50. So, for example, if the score is bigger than 80, all right, then you got an A, all right? And make sure that always all strings go in between quotation marks, all right? Or else the Python is going to throw an error. All right, so you got an A. And we want to make an else if condition, so elif, which means else if the score is bigger than 90, then print you got an A star. So what we did here is something called nested ifs, right? So you got an A star, for example. All right. So let's change the score to 60. So what's going to be printed here? First of all, I'm going to go line by line. If the score is bigger than 50, which is true, then I'm going to go inside. If it wasn't bigger than bigger than 50, I wasn't going to go inside. I was just going to skip right away to line 9 and then do whatever's there. But in our case, the score is bigger than 50. So first thing that is going to be print is you passed. And if the score is bigger than 80, then you're going to print that you got an A. However, the score is not bigger than 80, so this is not going to be printed. And then the else if condition, score is bigger than or equal 90, this is also not true, so the print statement is not going to happen because the score is 60, which is not bigger than 80 or bigger than 90. And if we print that, you passed. All right, that's the only thing that is going to be printed. How about if we write 80? Then you passed and then you got an A. All right. How about if we get 90? So if we change this to 90, well, the first thing that is going to happen is that the score 90 is bigger than 80, so you got an A is going to happen. And if this happens, the Python code is going to skip this because this only happens if this fails. All right, but this is not true because we want to print if someone gets more than 90, we want to also print you got an A star. So let's first see that. You're going to see that you passed and you got an A, even though they got 90, which is an A star. So how can we do this? So remember last video when we said we can do more than one condition in the same line by writing and then putting two conditions? Then let's do that. So if the score is bigger than 80 and the score is less than 90, that's only the time you can go there. If the score is 90 or bigger, then you go there. So if we run this, you're gonna see you pass and then you got an A star, not an A. Alright, so what we did here is score 90, score is bigger than 50, then you go there, you print you passed, and then if the score is bigger than 80, it is true. However, the score is not less than 90 because the score is 90. So this fails, and requires that both conditions are met. Alright, so this is not going to happen, so we're going to go right to else if, and then score is bigger than 90. That's true, bigger than or equal 90, and that's true, so we're going to print you got an A star. Alright, and since we went into this if, we're never going to go to else. We only go to else or else ifs if the if before failed. Alright, so this was it for if conditions. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and we will be helping you. Alright, have a nice day. Bye.